Season 1, Segment 2 of the Daily Pop. Now, today I'm just going to give you some of the stuff we'll probably be covering in the next couple of days. You know we're going to interview seniors with interesting stories, and all seniors are interesting. But I want to lay out something about, oh my God, I'm not in the studio, you can see that, right? But I'm going to talk about the neighborhood that I came from. My stories are not unusual. There's plenty of people that are going to relate, especially if you come from the city. Come from Iowa, maybe not. But if you come from the city, you'll definitely be able to identify with some of the, let's just take the games we played. Let's talk about stickball. We'll talk about slapball. We'll talk about softball, basketball, football. You name it, we played it. And guess what? Not one adult around. We played it, and we had fun. If we wanted to steal, we stole the base. We didn't have to wait for somebody, hey, you gotta give me signals. I don't even know what signals are. You took the base if you thought you could beat it out, period. It's very simple. And we learned how to play the field because we played so much that I hear parents today, move over, move over. What the hell? If you play enough, you know you're going to have to move over. You don't have to have a parent telling you to move over, third base, move over a little bit. Who does that? I mean, you know how to play the game. You get the feel, you play enough. If the ball goes by you 15 times on your right, you're going to move over to the right? Very simple. But let's get back to the young days with the Spalding, that little pink ball that cost maybe, at the time, 10 cents. That was a lifesaver. With that ball, you could play with a team, play by yourself, you could play stickball, stoop ball, 3-box baseball, slap ball. Oh my God. You know what? Why don't you think, especially people from my area, how many games you can play with that Spalding? You remember 5 points, 10 points. If you hit the point, it was worth more. Yeah, jeez. Points, in fact, they used to call it. But that was just wonderful days with a 10-cent ball that saved so many people's lives. And God forbid that went down the sewer. For 10 cents, you open that sewer cover with a can with a string on it and you try to scoop it back up. What do you mean you try? You better get that ball back. So nothing stopped us. God forbid your mother looked for her mop because it was not there anymore. We had a stick to play stickball. And how many varieties of stickball? Play in the street, of course. And you know, 2 sous or 3 sous, all that crap. But you played against the wall with the box. You play one-on-one. And, you know, ground is a single, over your head, bounces someplace, a double, hits the fence is a triple, over the fence is a home run. I mean, we made the rules as we went along. There's no such thing as a forfeit. If you didn't have enough guys, you made an official catcher. You know, we made things happen to play. Today, if you don't have enough, if you only came with 8 guys, and you want to play a baseball game, forfeit. Well, give them somebody to play. You want to play the game. I mean, I actually walked out of a Little League game, first Little League game I've ever saw in my whole life. My nephew was in it. And the kid gets up at the plate. Not my nephew, but one of the kids gets up. Strike 1. And he looks at his father. What the hell? Strike 2. He didn't take the bat off his shoulder. Ball. He was so excited. He wanted to walk. Because at that age, half the kids can't get it over the plate, so he wanted to walk. Is that the way it's played? When I coached, if it was close, you hit it. I don't care. You hit the ball if it was close. I don't want no walks. You learn how to hit by walking? No, give me a break. So anyway, you don't like my philosophy? You don't have to use it. But all I'm saying is, I think we had an advantage of the kids today because we didn't have to wait for parents to come home. We were playing, right home from school, and we played all day. And you name it, we played it. And here's another story. I got to give you this one. My grandson right now has 10 basketballs. I have 3 basketball courts in my driveway. 3. 2 are for full court, and 1 is so he could dunk. He's not tall enough. We had to make him low. We had 1 basketball for the whole friggin' Bronx. Well, at least for my neighborhood. And the guy that owned it, Angelo, or Lump, they used to call him, because he was tall. He came, we played. He left, game stopped. And we had a rim that was tilted. The so loose. 1 basketball court for my whole neighborhood, and it was bent. And guess what? 2 of the people that I played against made the pros. You know what? You don't want to believe me? I don't have to lie here. What do I get out of lying? They made the pros. 1 went to the Syracuse Gnats and played with Dolph Shays, and the other one went to the Rochester Royals. 2 guys went to my high school. They were 4 years older than me. Went to Manhattan College, won the Holiday Festival. In fact, Lump, he was a big guy, he's called Lump. He led the nation in field goal percentage. What do you think of that? Now, these are stories that I'm going to tell you about, the guys, the games, and that's where we're going to go with that. And I got a low battery, so I got to make this brief. Oh, the door closed on me. So anyway, that's part of it. The games we played, the guys, all the guys, you're going to enjoy. Every neighborhood had guys with nicknames, and we had a million of them. You know, Joe Black and Danny the Dip, Stroop, Tiny J, Count Dracula. Oh, Maron, everybody had a name. And there was reasons for the name. Gagush. What do you think a Gagush looks like? That's the name for a Gagush. Lump. What does Lump look like? That's Lump. We even had the Geek. Because we called the guy the Geek because he would run into a wall. It's a free all when you played Ring Alivio. I'm going to explain that game to you. But we had nut jobs. But guess what? Everybody was nuts. I mean, they played Follow the Leader. I got to give you this one guy. We used to call him Lot Ass. You know why I call him Lot Ass? If Follow the Leader, you had to jump over the bush. Everybody made it over but him. And what was in the bushes? A fence. And you know the fences with the spikes like this? Well, he landed on that. Oof. So he ended up in the hospital. That's why after he came out, he walked a little funny. Lot ass. So, I mean, he was a good athlete. He played third base. He's terrific. But he walked kind of funny ever since that one time. So we used to play follow the leader. The guy used to jump on a truck. Everybody had follow jumping. But my brother always was last. He says, you know what, I'll be last. He was smart. I got to tell you, my brother, '1 in every school he went to. #1. And you can check it out. Connell Hayes, Fordham, he won 16 fellowships. That was my brother. 6'3", and look at me, I'm bitching. But all I'm saying is, I used to tell my kids, you could be #1, because I grew up with them. You know what I'm saying? They took it like I meant you gotta be. No, I meant try, and they did pretty damn good. I don't want to get into how many good schools they went to, they did. But that's what we're going to talk about, that kind of stuff. The guys and the games we played, I mean, we built huts with no tools. We used a rock, and we used to buy 3 cents of nails, and you could get the wood from the vegetable store because the crates all wood, and we make a hut, and then we line it. We used to put linoleum up, and that was the best thing you ever saw in your whole life. In fact, I didn't even want to go there. We had a tunnel that used to go in and come out in the middle of the hut. The parents found out, they collapsed the tunnel on us because I guess they didn't want us to get in the cave-in. But yeah, yeah, some of the guys, I got to tell you the stories about the games. Oh my God, you won't believe them. And maybe you will believe it because maybe it happened to you, but they were fun days, such fun days. And it was done with such moderate. Hey, Ma, throw down 3 cents. 3 cents! And she wrapped it in a napkin. 3 cents. You could hit 3 cents today. You say, what are you, crazy? You give him $3 today, he says you're nuts. So I'm saying it's a different world. I mean, we're in the one-handed society where everybody has a phone. I mean, that's like their, I don't know, like a pacifier. They got to have that phone in their hand. I mean, are they that important? A kid 17 years old is that important that he has a phone? What the hell is he listening to? I don't know. But, you know, hey, it's technology. Hey, I'm talking to you with technology, so I get it. In fact, I'm not untechnical. I did some stuff in my day, and I might not get into it, but I will later on. But I just wanted to give you a brief thing. And again, the senior things, the senior interviews, you're going to love them. Some of these guys are so interesting. Not the goofs that I introduced this morning. They are interesting. Especially Lenny. No, all of them. Every one of them has a story. And I already lined up some interviews. I'm going to show you, going on with this, I'm going to introduce you to a guy that came over with $7, and he's a multimillionaire. Not because he was an investor, that he knew what he was doing. He worked hard, and through diligence, and his creed is, always to buy a 2-family house. Well, he has 3 of them. He made some good real estate, but he didn't do it like, hey, let's invest. He did it because that's the way he did it, you know. In fact, he has a place in Maine. He's never seen it before. He's never seen it. He just bought it because his friend said it's great. So he bought it. And his workmanship, I'm going to tell you something. His work should be in a museum, and you're going to see it. He made it with his hands. He was a blacksmith at one time. Blacksmith. Take a piece of metal and make beautiful things. You're not going to believe what you see. Hold on a second.